This episode of Techno Buffalo is brought to you by lynda.com. What's going on, guys? I'm Mark Sanger from Techno Buffalo, and I'm joined here by our director, Mr. Ron Parita.
What's up, guys?
We're just going to be answering some of your questions on Twitter and show you guys what our daily drivers are and why we chose that specific phones for me, and
also what some cameras are that we're looking forward to in the upcoming few months.
So let's get started. So the first thing on our list, we're just going to answer some of your questions on Twitter, and the first question comes from @LiveTechAustralia. @TechnoBuffalo, will you guys be at #CES 2015, and can we come by and say hi?
We will be at CES. Some of us are looking forward to it, some of us are not. It's going to be a very hectic week for us, but we will be there, so feel free to stop by, say hi. We don't really know specifically where we're going to be, but just kind of look out for us and we'll look out for you guys.
Whether you see us outside of the hotel, whether we're inside the convention center, if you tap us on the shoulder, we'll love to hang out with you guys. Hey, I'd love to hang out with you, Ron.
What up, dude?
Hey. Yeah, like that. Second question goes to @RedSox2009, @TechnoBuffalo, #AskTheBuffalo. What would you like to see from the next update of the Mac Pro?
So me personally, I would just maybe like to see a different pricing setup between how Apple has the Mac Pro and the iMac. I personally bought an iMac a couple months back, and I noticed there's a bit of a pricing overlap with the high-end iMac and the base Mac Pro, and the fact that one comes with a display, one doesn't. It's kind of a tough decision to make. I would just like to see some clarity in their lineup with that, but that's really it. It's a great machine other than that.
Now, myself personally, I would just like to see an NVIDIA graphics card inside the Mac Pro. Right now it has an AMD graphics card, which isn't really compatible with CUDA, because since we use Premiere Pro as our editing suite, it's not really compatible with CUDA, and that sort of bogs it down just a little bit. And when we try to get videos out faster and with CUDA, it does the job.
And then also, in general, as a whole, not necessarily from the Mac Pro, I would like to see Apple kind of optimize their machines for the Adobe suite in general, because it's really not optimized for it. And so it does, like Mark said, run slow sometimes and that type of thing, which is reliant on the graphics card and sometimes on the RAM and a couple other things. So.
Yeah, and I mean, the iMac, the 5K iMac actually has an AMD graphics card, so it...
Right, which is an awesome graphics card, but doesn't really work too well with Premiere.
Yeah. So the last question we have for you guys today is coming from @its_Tanny. @TechnoBuffalo, I'm getting a new phone in April. What are your recommendations, as this has to last for 2 years? Since you're getting your phone in April, which is miles down the road, April of 2015, you can see newer crop of smartphones, like faster smartphones than what we have today, like the Note 4, iPhone 6 Plus, Nexus 6. So we can't really say what you should get for the next couple of months, like in April. But for right now, if you were to buy a phone right now, I would suggest you get a Nexus 6, a Note 4 if you're an Android user. But if you're an iOS user, I would get the iPhone 6 Plus.
Yeah, around April we should have the Galaxy S6, perhaps the next iteration of LG's G3, the G4, or whatever they're going to call it. So those are phones to look forward to, because we really liked both of those phones last time around. We really liked the Note 4, so the S6 might be a really interesting phone to look at. I still think going with something like the OnePlus One is a great idea just because of its price point, and we were playing around with one the other day. It feels really, really good in the hand. Yeah. My personal favorite is the Droid Turbo. It's a little bit thicker of a phone. It's not like slippery, which a lot of the new like super thin phones tend to be. Yeah. You can't go wrong with any of those, really.
The battery life on that, ridiculous.
Yeah, like, battery life is superb. And
2 days maybe? Yeah. Yeah. So now, other than questions, we promised to talk about our daily drivers. Now, as for me, I'm using the iPhone 6 Plus and the Galaxy Note 4. Great phones, and what are you using, Ron?
I'm using a 6 Plus at the moment. My case is absolutely wrecked. Please don't judge me. I have not taken the best care of it, but it has protected my phone, so that's good. It's really cool. I like it. iOS, like we always talk about this, the big thing for us over Android is the integration with iMessage, with Mail and iCloud and all that stuff. And it's a little more difficult to set up with Android. iMessage is really the main thing for me. The downside of it is that iOS has been a little bit glitchy for me. Camera's great. I wish it had a little bit of a higher megapixel count, just because cropping in it's a little bit difficult, and photos kind of fall apart once you zoom in. So That's something I'm not a huge fan of. And without the case, the phone's really, really slippery, which is actually something I love about the Note 4.
Yeah.
No case, it feels awesome, and I would totally use that phone with no
like
case.
it feels much better than the iPhone 6 Plus, I'll tell you that. And like just the build quality, Samsung did a really good job. And like software, I mean, TouchWiz, I don't like it very much. That's why I replaced the launcher and like the icon pack. It looks much better than what it used to look like. Now, Samsung has a really high megapixel count, 8 megapixel on the iPhone 6 Plus and 16 megapixel on here. Like the ability, like what Ron said, like the ability to crop in an image is awesome, but I feel like Samsung tends to over sharpen images, which doesn't look very good. But I'll tell you right now, the dynamic range on the Note 4 is much better on a 6 Plus. I'll give you that. Plus 4K recording, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah,
And
4K 's
yeah.
cool. Another thing I love about the 6 Plus as a daily driver is Touch ID. John said he was having troubles with Touch ID on the 5S, and it's much improved for him on the 6 Plus. I thought Touch ID was great for me on the 5S, but it's even better with the 6 Plus, so it's just a really great way, really quick way to unlock your phone day to day, day in and day out. You don't really think about it, it's just useful and really quick. Apple Pay, I've been using it a little bit more, but it's not really like, oh, I'll just pay with Apple Pay. It's like you really have to think about it. I was at Macy's the other day buying some stuff, and I was like, and I saw the little Apple Pay, and I was like, oh wait, okay, let me get Apple Pay. Everyone was like really confused, and it just took longer than a credit card honestly would have, but it was cool. And if retail stores start getting more readers to use it, then it'd be an awesome feature to have.
Yeah, I mean, the Note 4 has a fingerprint scanner too, but it's not as efficient and quick as Touch ID. I tried it. I mean, Samsung's doing a really good job improving it, but it's just not as quick as Touch ID. And Apple Pay hasn't specifically worked for me, but as Ron experienced, it worked for him. So it might be just my iPhone or my bank, so who knows.
Also, App Store purchases with Touch ID that's also super helpful. Not having my password's like 12 characters, and I like have 50 different passwords because I forget them all the time. So using Touch ID just to download apps really quickly is also really helpful.
Yeah, that's awesome. Let's stop the video for just a quick second and thank our friends over at lynda.com. Lynda.com offers thousands of engaging, easy-to-follow video tutorials taught by industry experts to help you learn software, creative, and business skills. Membership starts at just $25 per month and provides unlimited 24/7 access. Learn at your own pace from tutorials in web design, programming, and audio and video, and many more. Try lynda.com free for 7 days by visiting lynda.com/technobuffalo. And again, that's lynda.com/technobuffalo.
So for the final question, what cameras are we looking forward to using?
For video, I'm looking forward to using the Ursa from Blackmagic, even though
Very cool
that's
camera.
Yeah, it's a good camera. I saw some previews online. It's amazing, 4K RAW. That's pretty awesome. However, it's using CFast 2 cards, which are ridiculously expensive.
And it also weighs as much as a house, so I'm not
Yeah,
looking forward to
it
carrying
weighs
that around.
like 16 pounds, and having that around CES, I'm pretty sure we can't use that around CES.
Unless you're working out like 6 months in advance. So.
Yeah, that's the camera I'm looking forward to. What about you, Ron?
This might be a weird choice for me, but I'm really looking forward to the GoPro, the new GoPro Hero 4s. I'm actually using one right now that we got into the office more as testing. It's not really something I'm using day to day. It's more just, I just started using it about last week. So that's really exciting for me because I've always knocked GoPros, not because they're not good cameras. They're great like action cameras, but you can't really use them professionally. I think the GoPro Hero 4 is a big milestone for GoPro. It might be the first camera that they make that you can use professionally. So that's really exciting for me. And from what I've seen so far, it looks really, really good. The Ursa is also really exciting, but like I said, the size is just, it's unwieldy. And so I'm terrified about that.
Like the size, the CFast 2 cards. Like,
Yeah.
I wish that they included like at least an SSD.
Like an
thing.
SSD option would have been great.
Right,
Yeah.
but not having that, I feel like it's a deal breaker to some people. But you know, if you have the money to spend on CFast 2 cards and a reader, then you should be okay because the quality that thing outputs ridiculously amazing.
Yeah.
I think better than the Red Epic.
That's debatable, yeah. That's debatable.
No, 4K RAW on the Ursa, it's great.
So we've been talking in the office actually about the Ursa more specifically for our uses and using it as our studio camera. My concerns would be, like you said, about going to an event like CES, which we don't do too often, but when we do it, it seems like it'd be really, really difficult and be a hassle to carry that sort of thing around. But in the studio, I would honestly want to put the tripod on wheels. Other than that, if we can get the CFast card expense situation worked out, it seems like an amazing camera. Raw workflow has me a little bit worried. It might not be the perfect camera for us, but
right.
it seems like an awesome cinema camera if you're doing short films or maybe even features, low budget features.
Yeah, I mean, plus future proofing the studio at least, we could record ProRes 1080p at like super high bit rates. And you can also actually buy CFast 1 cards, but we'll only do 1080p ProRes, not 4K RAW, which is about $500 cheaper than CFast 2 cards. So,
Interesting little workaround.
yeah, just if you don't have the money to spend on CFast 2 cards, you can, if you don't plan on doing 4K RAW or 4K in general, you can buy CFast 1 cards and use that for 1080p ProRes, which is still good enough for web delivery. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you guys like this sort of video where Ron and I are just sitting here in front of the camera answering some of your questions and talking about our smartphones and cameras, make sure to leave a comment down below, and if you guys want to be featured in the next episode, if we do plan on doing this, make sure to hit us up on Twitter at TechnoBuffalo, and we hope to see you guys there. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you guys would like to see more, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And we'd like to play video games every now and then in this office, so make sure to check us out at twitch.tv/TechnoBuffalo, and we hope to see you guys there.